Welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm back, and I'm not really prepared because it's a Tuesday. Usually I film on a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. I'm all stuffed up, but I don't have any COVID. And Rich Canistaro is our director tonight, and he and I are both just pleasantly plugging along, trying to make it alive in these days. It's very hard as you get older, too. It's crazy. So, welcome to the show tonight. So fun. I forgot that I had this piece of driftwood here. So I am going to eventually donate it to charity. Anyhow, I just have to have the right venue and be involved in it a little bit, because actually it doesn't benefit me if I don't get some sort of you know, showing on this. But I don't mind giving it away. It's fine. So I went to the beach with Christina. I think it was Christina. Hi, Christina from the Hillstead. Christina Purbeck. She's been on the show. She's the cook. Beautiful blonde girl. Just amazing person and very into Jesus too, which is kind of nice these days. Anyhow, I'm a little stuffed up, so I might sneeze. But we were at the beach, and I think it was like Rocky Neck, and there was a piece of, excuse me, driftwood. Yeah, driftwood, and it was huge. And she said, "Take it, Dawn. You can paint on it." And I said, "What the heck? I mean, I know. But I'm just going to feel weird stealing from the beach." She goes, "This is not stealing. It's a piece of driftwood." But I said, "I've never taken a piece of driftwood this big, like from the beach." So anyway, I asked the lifeguard, who was like, 17 years old, like my daughter. And I'm like, "Do you think it's okay that I take this piece of driftwood?" And she said, "Oh, it comes up every morning. You should come every morning and take some. It would be great for paintings." So I thought, oh my God. So we hauled it out, threw it in the car. And here I have it, and it's a beautiful piece, as you can see. Absolutely gorgeous. So I didn't really know what to do with it, and I do a lot for charity, as you all know. And so, I will donate anything to charity. I do it a ton, and I raise as much money as I possibly can and try to promote my own artwork as well while doing so. So this piece, I decided, what am I going to paint on it? And when my kids were little, I still walk a lot. But when they were little, I would walk. I'd park my car because I don't quite live in the village. Heather's in the village now. Congratulations, Heather. So happy for you. I can't really afford the village now, but I do like my house, and I'm pretty close to the village. But you can see how I decided to paint every single house on Main Street in the village of Farmington. So I painted one side of the piece of wood. And you can see those two are the little two houses that match. That's the Thomas Jefferson, Brian Evans house right there. And then it just goes on and on. I skipped a couple houses, not to say that any of them were ugly, but I kept a couple of them out just because I couldn't fit them all. So I started on one side of the street, and then I decided that I was going to flip it, because this would be like worth more money if you actually flipped it, and then you had the second side of the street, of Main Street in Farmington. And then I thought, if I go back to the beach and get a lot of these, I could do Old Wethersfield, I could do Avon, I could do Old Greenwich. I mean, what a great charity this would be, and a great way to get my name even more than it already is, because I'm really not that famous. It would be nice, though. But it's beautiful. So you start at one end, and you go all the way down. And, they're very whimsical. It's not like I spent hours and hours on each house. I grabbed a picture, I took them with my phone. I like that look. So what we're doing tonight is we're just kind of going to talk about Farmington and Main Street. And I've got red, I went to ShopRite earlier. I love these foam plates. A lot of people say that it kills the turtles and it's bad for the ocean, but I've heard that styrofoam is 100% recyclable. They make flip-flops out of it. So, prove me wrong, and it's fine. I don't want to hurt the animals and stuff, but I just use these. They're so easy, and, great. So what I'm going to do is, while we're talking about each house here, we'll just move right along. I put an American flag because they do have American flags going along the street in a lot of historical Main Street communities. York Beach, Maine, Woodstock, Vermont, Burlington, Vermont, of course, but any kind of Main Street looks real nice with the American flag. It's very patriotic. It looks great. So I put a flag pretty much as it looks, except I just went bonkers and added a whole pile of them. But here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to touch it up while we're going along here. And yeah, I don't know what I got here, but I got something. I'm off this week from Hartford. I'm so glad. I was just saying to my two uh, basically executives, my bosses here, I was like, a lot of people that are teachers, they complain. And, you know, it's a hard job and stuff like that. And I complain sometimes, but I try not to. But, you know, when teachers complain, it's kind of annoying because, like, I have this week off, which I need. And then I have April, you know, a week in April. They're going to get rid of our February vacation next year, but I have April. And then after April, I have the summer. So, like, a lot of people don't realize that there are, like, a lot of benefits, and we don't get paid a ton, but enough. You know, if you plan your cards right, you're not going to live in some fancy mansion being a teacher, but you could certainly live in a house like mine and pay your bills. But it's certainly not rich or easy or anything like that. And I can totally work the summers if I want to, when the McDonald's drive-thru finally hires me. It's been 2 years in a row I have applied to McDonald's. And, you know, it's generally the same owner because the same owner owns about 5 McDonald's. My friend owns Chick-fil-A's. I showed up tonight. And she owns like 3 Chick-fil-A's. And I think you have to be super rich to do it. But I just thought that, like, if you really think about it, say you're home thinking, like, okay, I work in the camera, I work here, I work at ShopRite, I bag groceries, I work in a IT, I do this. Like, think about, like, if you could really make the same amount of money at the job you have, except do another job. This is a hard question. I'm telling you, it's harder than it thinks. So say you want to have the same job you have, but no, you don't want the same job you have, but you want the same money. So, like, what would it be? And I always think, like, okay, do I want to bag groceries? No. Do I want to do customer service? Absolutely not. Hotel, restaurant. Oh, it's wait tables. Bartending's fun. What do I want to do with the same paycheck? And you know what? There's nothing out there that you can do that you'd like with the same paycheck. So mine is my ideal job is McDonald's drive-thru. You know, everybody laughs at me. Why? I'm like, I don't know. First of all, I haven't done it. So, you know, I might say, like, you know what? I was wrong. Because you can be wrong. I'm just doing the stripes on the flags with this bright, bright red here. And I don't have a lot of paint here because I decided that this was going to be one of those episodes where we, like, kind of chatted. But anyway, my ideal job would be, you know, a lot of people like clothes. And, you know, I don't want to pick up clothes that people try on and then they leave them in the closet, you know, the thing. They don't want them, the tags. Ugh, don't want to do that. So, like, I was telling someone, I was at this restaurant, Market Grill. My roommates from college came into town. And they told me, Donnie, we're going to Market Grill. And I was like, what? And it was, like, great. I loved it. And I saw this just gorgeous waitress. She was so nice. And I just thought, like, maybe I should do this. Like, I wonder if these waitresses make as much money as I do. Because, like, maybe I could do that. I'm not a very good waitress. I've done it. But I'm, you know, maybe I could do that. And it would amount. So I asked her, I said, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but she wasn't doing anything anyway. She was waiting for people to come in. Wasn't really that busy. And I said, do you think that I could quit my job and do your job and we'd have the same salary? And I didn't mean to be rude or anything. I was just kind of asking her. And she said, this is my second job. I said, you have a full-time job and this? She goes, uh-huh, because I don't make as much money at my other job. So the answer, quite clearly, is no. You cannot be a full-time waitress. She did say that sometimes there is a case where some waitress makes, you know, a good amount of money. Because maybe they've been at the, like, there was a girl, Nancy, at J. Timothy's forever. I loved her, and I think she made that kind of money. I do. I think she made a good amount of money. And actually, I think she was able to imagine retiring as a waitress, but I think she did. When that's your job. You know, and everybody thinks, like, oh, God, it's awful to do this or that or the other. Well, guess what? Anything to pay your bills. And be, you know, I've been in the restaurant business. It can be awful. It really can. It can Can you believe it? Rich just came out. He's like 15 minutes. I've been yakking for 15 minutes. But I just don't know. Like, I love my husband's job, but I don't know. He never comes home in a bad mood. He really doesn't, I'll tell you. It's not that he ever did before, but like, well, maybe at one place he worked. But he's been in the paint industry forever. But he loves his job. And for those of you that don't know where he is Bushka Lumber, Waterbury. And the Bushkas are extremely successful people, and not because they had it handed to them. They're like, it's crazy. Everybody in Waterbury knows the Bushkas, and they're like, oh my God, that family. Did you ever hear the story? And I'm not going to tell it because that's their private business. But everybody knows the story. So if you know the Bushkas, you know the story. But they are extremely hard workers. And my husband definitely prides himself in working for those people. And, you know, it's a smaller staff because it's family. So a lot of Bushkas work there. And I'm just saying, he really likes his job. So it's nice to like your job. And I don't even know what he makes. We don't even talk about that stuff. It's awful. It sounds crazy. You don't know what your husband makes. I'm like, I don't know. You know, you can't be too crazy with that stuff. Yeah. So I'm just doing these flags. So I'm just going to turn them over a little so you can see how bright and nice they are now. They're very bright. The flags look great. There's some more white trim I could go over, which I'm going to do in a second. And this is going to go by really fast. Yeah, so my roommates from college came up, Tress and Moon. And oh, we had a great time. We went to something called, well, we went to the Market Grill the first time. And then the next day we went back to Manchester because one of them lives out kind of in the woods. I won't say where, but it's gorgeous. And then sort of Glastonbury area, but you know, Glastonbury has stuff to do where she does not so much. So we went into Manchester, and she said, I was like, this is quick from your house. She goes, well, it's not that far actually, Dawn. It's just like, you know, she has a Highland Park Market where she lives too, and I have one. Now, I love Highland Park Market, don't get me wrong, but I don't have the kind of money to be able to have that place be my absolute, like, toilet paper and whole shopping bill. But I mean, on some days you can. But I mean, we love that place. It's high end, that's what it's supposed to be. So she has one in her town too, and she goes a lot, but also sometimes not. So I'm just doing the little things on these windows. I don't know if you can see them. Like they said, these cameras are crazy. Chris was just saying, I was like, are these the same cameras that like the Today Show has with like Hoda? And I mean, I think we pretty much settled on, yeah, they got a good grant here. So, you know, I know some people are talking about just everything. I was talking about this lady today, Miss Porter's hired me to do some more paintings, which was really nice, thank you. And we were talking about the kids and stuff. And one of them said, I'm nervous that my kid is going to go into IT. I said, why? IT is huge. That's like the biggest paying job. And she said, well, I'm kind of worried about artificial intelligence taking over. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. You know, because I'm not, you know, I'm an artist. I don't think about that stuff. But she said, yeah, imagine all the kids going into, you know, cybersecurity, stuff like that, and then all of a sudden your job could be done by, you know, artificial intelligence. That's just insane. I'm doing the Porter's building right now. It's the big, gigantic yellow one. I forgot what it's called. They all have names. Like, it might be called Colony. No, Colony's white. So they all have flags. One's Brick, one's Jones, one's Ward, one's Colony. And this one here is also a building. And it's one of the bigger buildings. And my friend Christine Neville-Smith, hi Christine, she is my favorite kids. Other than my own, two of my favorite kids in the whole world are hers. And I believe they both enlisted in the Army. So, I know Semper Fi is Marines, but I don't know anything about the military. I wonder what the Army thing is. Rich, do you know what the Army thing is? I know okay, I'm not from the Army or any of the military, but I know Semper Fi is, I think, Marines, don't laugh at me, but I'm trying to think. What's the Army, Rich? The heck do they say in the Army? Anyway, both her kids joined the Army, which is amazing. So thank you, boys. Landon, and I'm getting a blank. Landon's the second guy, too. I love them. I love them. Caden, love them. Ever since I met them. You know, and everybody's so crazy and braggy about where the kids go. And like, oh my God, I almost dropped to my floor when I heard they did that because I just think that's the ultimate sacrifice. It's amazing. Guglietta, Coast Guard, Nick Duncan, Marines. Like, it makes me tear up because, you know, I just think it's the ultimate sacrifice. So I love it. Yeah, so my kid's still at Central. I'm very happy that he's at Central, Connecticut. And we had a lot of discussions over like college with, you know, because everybody has kids in college now. You know, so when my roommates from college came in to town, we were just talking about how much money everything is, and they kind of couldn't believe my situation. So thank you, Central Connecticut State University, because you know, they've really worked out great for us. And I'm sure I've heard a lot of great stories, people that are away, kids that, you know, aren't staying home, not living with their parents and doing really well. And then I've heard stories about kids that aren't. And I'm just glad my kid's one of them. I mean, I wouldn't say he's saying I love college. Now, I've heard parents say my kid loves it. As a matter of fact, the lady from Miss Porter said my kid loves it. It was Old Miss. So she said he loves it. So that was really great to hear. You know, and I don't know if my, you know, my daughter, we don't know where she's going to go. If you know anything about film, she wants to be a film person, but not an actress. So, you know, I'm looking around, and I don't know about your kids either, but my daughter, my son, I don't know, but he lives with us and commutes. But my daughter, I'm just not sure if she could handle the going into New York City and doing that thing, or having roommates, you know. So we're kind of like figuring that out. So I'm just making this a little bit crisper. We probably have like 7 minutes left. I'm going to flip it over to the other side because we've been looking at that side the whole time. But if anybody has any ideas, you're watching the show and you're like, that would be a great piece. I know Stanley Whitman, I was going to give it to Andy for the progressive dinner. And then we didn't lose touch is what happened. It was just the timing was bad. And I need better publicity, and it was my fault because I had just started painting the driftwood. And so when the progressive dinner came out, I was like, I'm just not ready. So, and I'll do that again. It's in October, so I got to save this. But there's so many other charities that I do that I would be willing to do. And also, it's not just this piece. I could do another piece. So I'm going to flip this. I don't want to get it on the table, but this table is like, I almost want to call it the crack of dawn table. Hopefully it was donated. I'm going to flip this over, and you can see already we're going to a whole different side of the road. And I couldn't really fit everything. I did sign it. And I'm just going to go through and just do these flags a little bit brighter. And I'm sorry I wasn't like painting too much. Next time, thanks to Chris, Bennett, and Jody from Nutmeg TV, and Rich and everybody else. These two pictures here, I'll put them here so you can see them. They gifted me these gigantic canvases. They're right here next to me. You can probably see them, but they're just as tall as my hand here. These are canvases. And he said, Dawn, would you be willing to paint one of these so that we can hang it in our studios? And I was like, yes. So what I'm going to do is, since there's a lot of detail that I don't really want to sketch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sketch at home, possibly even tracing it, which I won't lie, and I'll show you how to do it if I end up doing that. So possibly end up tracing this one and that one. There's a lot going on there that you just don't want to sketch if you don't have to. So I'm going to be working on those on the next episode. Coachy's coming on. We got a little bit of change. I got Lucia Dostal coming on. She is a Berkeley College student of music, and she just came out with a new, I don't know what you call it, a record? I don't even know. I think album, record. Recording. It's so different now. They used to say album, recording, record. But anyway, we're going to have her on. I've got 2 minutes, I think, because I can see Rich approaching. And we're going to have Lucia Dostal. Yeah, 5 minutes. It's perfect. And then Lucia will come on. I just saw her at the Parlor Room in Northampton, Massachusetts, and she was amazing. It was sold out. The place was packed. I couldn't even get in, but someone gave me their wristband and said, I don't need it. So I went in. It was first night Northampton. She was amazing. And original music, which I'm allowed to have on here. We can't do, well, we can do pre-recorded stuff and other stuff, but there's all sorts of rights and stuff that you have to like pass and stuff. It's just a pain. So the fact that Lucia is going to be performing her own music is just a big, it's easy for me. I don't have to worry about like breaking rules here. There's not a lot of rules here, but there are a certain amount. You know, you can't just do whatever you want. But Lucia, I think she's 21. She's from Northampton, Mass. Goes to Berklee School of Music. Her mother was on, Elena Champa. They got different names. The father is Eric Dostal, who gives me these great glasses because he's my eye doctor and my long best friend for life. And he just happens to have a great family. Lots of people from Northampton I come from are great, not just him. But pretty much everybody that like goes to get their eyes checked goes to Eric, everybody. And so it's his family that have been coming on the show. So I'm very proud of her and him and his wife for raising such nice kids because they really are really sweet. And she's going to come on. Then we're going to have Coachy back, and he says we're playing the, I said, who's doing good in hockey? Something that had a D. I don't even know if it was Detroit. Didn't have any wings on it. There were no Red Wings. It was just a big D, and it was green. So I don't know what team that was, but he said paint that, and then I'll paint the Rangers. So clearly, the New York Rangers are doing pretty good at hockey. He's going to Disney. We've probably got like 2 minutes left. I'm just doing this. So if we can get him on, I always love having Coachy on. He's amazing. And everybody knows him, everybody. So remember, over these awful winter months where you don't have a lot of time to like do stuff for yourself, go get some canvas. A lot of people say, I don't want to leave the house. I want to stay in my sweatpants all day. Well, guess what? There's so many places that you can go in your sweatpants. 2 minutes. You know, I know people that wouldn't even go to Walmart in their sweatpants. You know, I've got a lot of friends like that. My mom's one of them. I don't think she would do that. My sister, I don't know about that. She probably wouldn't even go to Walmart. But there are some places you can go and don't have to look like $1 million just to grab a quick canvas. So if you're feeling those winter blues and you're like, even my daughter said today, I don't want to get out of the car. I'm like, well, we're going to lunch with your grandfather. So, you know, we're probably not going to be going through the drive-thru at McDonald's, just saying. And we did go to McDonald's, but we went in. And I'm not a McDonald's. I mean, I don't know. It's not that I wouldn't eat it, but I don't know. I eat it sometimes, but I like other stuff, like bread. I swear to God, if there was a drive-through bread place where you could just be like, hi, I'll have a baguette and a popover, a croissant, a bagel, and then a whole bunch of butter on the side with cream cheese, that would be me. So I don't know why. And then how about a drive-through salad bar? Like, it can't be that hard to be like, okay, she wants chickpeas, salad. You do it just like you're doing a... And then, like I always said, why doesn't McDonald's have a hot dog? It's so weird. Hamburgers, french fries, like, where's the hot dog? Do you know how easy that is to make a hot dog? It's not even meat, is it? I don't even think it is. They were showing things on social media where, I think it's true, back in the day, your mother would cut up the hot dog raw, because I swear to God, you can't get sick from that. You just cut it up. They didn't even cook it. Cut it up. It's like bologna. Crazy. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Crack of Dawn. I ran out of Kleenex. I need to sneeze, so I think it's perfect timing that we close the show. We're going to do one episode tonight because I think we're all, too much of this is just going to spread around. I'll be back next week. I can't wait for lots of episodes of the Crack of Dawn. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you have any interest in making lots of money for some kind of charity with our driftwood. Okay, Thank you so much. Oh, and it goes really nice, like on my mantle, except I don't want it. But on a mantle, like really long, great. And then when people say, oh, that's so nice, you flip it over. Oh, and here's the other side. I'll see you next time. Everybody, God bless and Godspeed, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning into the Crack of Dawn. Bye-bye. Woo!
Step into our store and discover a stunning array of dancewear. Introducing Dancingly Yours, your one-stop shop for all things dance and delight for ages 2 to 92. From tiny tutus to energetic tap shoes, our store is a treasure trove of dance essentials. At Dancingly Yours, we offer an extensive collection of dancewear and accessories that cater to all styles and levels. We carry top brands and the latest fashion trends. From ballet to hip-hop, lyrical to jazz, ballroom to liturgical, as well as gymnastics, you'll find the largest selection right here at Dancingly Yours. But we're not just a store, we're a community that celebrates the joy of dance. Our expert team is passionate about dance, just like you. So we're here to assist you in finding the perfect fit. And the best part, Dancingly Yours offers competitive pricing in-store and online. Dancingly Yours, easy to get to and worth the trip from anywhere, right on Route 10 in Plainville.
Follow us on Instagram at nutmeg.tv.